Hi, LT. My name is Jen Tyrell, and I have deep gratitude and appreciation for the opportunity to serve our students, staff, families, and the community as principal of Lyons Township High School. I am excited about continuing our partnership as we set the standard, not just in the academic opportunities and the social-emotional support that we provide our students, but in the amazing co-curricular and athletic offerings that we have here at LT. It is our mission to honor our tradition of excellence, foster innovation, and empower all students in their quest for a fulfilling life as we affirm our motto, Vita Plena. We know that our students will simultaneously have an inspiring experience at LT while preparing for their post-secondary goals. We strive to be an LT where all of our students feel a sense of belonging and know that for many of our students, co-curricular and athletic participation plays a key role in their connection to LT and the type of LT experience they have. We truly believe that joining one or more co-curricular activities contributes significantly to our students' engagement in school. In fact, we feel so strongly about participation in co-curricular and athletic programs that we encourage each student to just pick 2 activities, athletic teams, or organizations to be a part of at LT. And believe me, we know that many of you will get connected to many more groups during your LT experience. Within this video, you will hear from Student Council President Jack Fielding. He is an amazing LT student and will share a bit about the importance of getting involved and making responsible decisions while at LT. Then, our athletic director, Mr. John Grunke, will share about the LT Co-Curricular Code of Conduct. Please note that there have been some significant changes that have been made to the LTHS Student Activities Code of Conduct within the areas of expectations, consequences, and the cumulative nature in which code violations are treated throughout the course of a year. The Parent-Teacher Advisory Behavior Interventions Board Committee, made up of board members, administrators, teachers, and parents, met multiple times throughout the course of the 2023-2024 school year. The committee collaborated in order to make thoughtful revisions to the Code of Conduct. Additionally, members of the District 204 legal team participated in the discussions and provided guidance to the team. The result is a newly updated Code of Conduct that was developed based on the feedback and input of many individuals that is more restorative in nature and reflects the core values of District 204. It is extremely important that students, as well as parents and guardians, familiarize themselves with the newly updated Code of Conduct as expectations, consequences, and restorative learning opportunities outlined within the Code of Conduct apply to all District 204 students participating in extracurricular activities. The Code of Conduct can be found in the LTHS Student Handbook. Finally, Mr. Peter Geddes, Director of Student Activities at LT, will share more about the importance of getting involved at LT. He will even share a bit of national research that supports the fact that students who get involved not only have a richer high school experience, but do better academically while in high school and beyond. Mr. Geddes will also talk a bit about our upcoming co-curricular night. Thank you so much for taking the time to review this video. I wish all of our students and families a safe, successful, and fun year. We cannot wait to see you at our co-curricular night on August 21st. And personally, I can't wait to see all of our students thrive as they explore their passions within our co-curricular and athletics programs this year. Cheering on our students as they compete, engage, and participate is one of my favorite parts of being your principal. We are LT.
Hi everyone, I'm Jack Fielding and I'm serving as your 2024-2025 Student Council President. You will never meet a school like LT that offers such a wide and diverse variety of activities. There is something here for everyone, and the biggest piece of advice that I can give to any incoming freshman is just like Nike puts it, just do it. You will never know who you are, what you're good at, what interests you, and who you will meet unless you just try. Try as many clubs, sports, and meet as many new people as you can. Because as a freshman, this is the time to discover who you are. Take it from me. I was very nervous going into my freshman year. I didn't know who I would fit in with, and I always saw the movies. As long as you fit in, everything seemed great. But I didn't know where to start. Thankfully, Maya Hom, the former student council president, was doing the same video I'm doing today. She told me to just go out there and discover the hundreds of choices that LT has for us. After going into co-curricular night, I felt welcomed by every club I met. I came home with more club flyers than I could ever hold, but the one that stood out to me the most was student councils. That next Wednesday night, I went not knowing anyone, but of course, the officers at the time and the other people in the club created a sense of belonging with everyone who went through that door. This is true for every club, sport, activity, everything here. And while one club or sport may not interest you, trust me, there's another one around the corner waiting for you to join. So again, I will not stress this enough. Just go out there and try as many new things as you can. This is the time for you to do it, because once you're a senior, there's going to be people everywhere saying they wish they would have joined when they were going into their freshman year. I know you're thinking about a lot as you were starting your freshman year, but I also want to share with you some thoughts about making the right choices, which is another key to success. Saying no to substances, doing what is best for your well-being, and becoming friends with the right people will ensure yourself that you are making the right choices. And if something were to ever go wrong in your 4 years at high school, there are support systems everywhere at LT. Even if you have a small question about a club, or if there's a more serious matter, counselors, teachers, coaches, and more will be sure to help you. I want you all to have the best experience here possible, and we are LT for a reason, and we have to be sure to help you wherever we can. So please make sure to get involved, ask questions, make the right decisions, and have a great co-curricular night.
Hello, my name is John Grunke, and I am the Athletic Director here at LT. My role in this presentation is an explanation of the Co-Curricular Code of Conduct. Our Code of Conduct is the agreement that all of our students pledge to make good decisions while they are on a club, a team, or in an activity. Our goal is to have 0 Code of Conduct violations over the course of this school year. However, if a Code of Conduct violation happens, we want to be clear about how it works. First, there are some general understandings that go with the Co-Curricular Code of Conduct. Participation is a privilege, not a right, and as such carries certain expectations beyond those found in the normal classroom setting. The goal of District 204's extracurricular activities program is to give students direction in developing healthful living habits, discipline, leadership, teamwork, and respect for rules and regulations. It is important to note that failure to abide by the Code of Conduct will result in both consequences and restorative learning opportunities. The District 204 Code of Conduct is applied to students participating in District 204's extracurricular activities program, which includes co-curricular clubs, performance groups, and athletic teams. To be eligible for participation in any school-sponsored or school-supported athletic or extracurricular activity, a student must satisfy the IHSA's Scholastic Standing requirement. A student must be doing passing work in at least 25 credit hours of high school per week. A student must, unless entering high school for the first time, have credit on their school records for 25 credit hours of high school work for the previous semester. Such work must have been completed in the semester for which credit is granted or is in a recognized summer program which has been approved by the Board of Education and for which graduation credit is received. A student failing to meet this minimum standard during weekly eligibility checks during the semester shall be suspended from activity for a period of 7 consecutive calendar days. Students failing to meet the minimum standard for the conclusion of the semester shall be suspended from their activities for the entire next semester. The following expectations apply to all District 204 students' participation in extracurricular activities. Please note that each activity may set additional expectations for the students. 1. The student must agree to follow the Code of Conduct and the sponsor or coach's rules and instructions. 2. Students must regularly attend school, practices, events, and participants expected to attend school for 4 class periods on the student's class schedule on the day of the activity. The activity includes practices, competitions, and events related to the extracurricular activity. 3. Students must attend an in-person meeting or view a district-sponsored video training at the beginning of every school year, during which the student intends to participate in extracurricular activities, to review the Code of Conduct, student behavior expectations, and any applicable student handbook and board policy provisions. The student and parent must confirm attendance at a meeting or viewing of the video training, either in writing or electronically, prior to the start of the activity or season. 4. Students must travel on school-arranged transportation for all events off Lyons Township High School campus. 5. Students must be responsible for the maintenance and return of all equipment and or clothing issued for an activity. 6. Students are encouraged to participate in the awards nights or the end-of-the-year banquets, for the extracurricular activity in which the student participates. 7. Students must carry their school-issued ID card with them at all times. Students who participate in extracurricular activities must also comply with the following requirements prior to participating. The student must present a current certificate of physical fitness issued by licensed physician, an advanced practice registered nurse, or a physician's assistant. The student or the student's parent guardian must show proof of accident insurance coverage either by a policy purchased through the district-approved insurance plan or a parent guardian's written statement that the student is covered under a family insurance plan. The student and their parents or guardian must comply with the eligibility rules and complete any forms required by any sponsoring association, like the Illinois High School Association. They must also complete all forms required by District 204, including, without limitation, signing an acknowledgement of receiving information about the district's concussion policy, Board Policy 7305, student athletic concussion and head injuries. Students must attend instruction on steroid abuse prevention. Additionally, for applicable non-athletic extracurricular activities, students must present a current certificate of physical fitness issued by a licensed physician, an advanced practice registered nurse, or a physician's assistant. Please note the following with respect to student behavior. Students who violate student behavior rules set forth in the student handbook or board policy also may result in disciplinary consequences under the Code of Conduct. Additionally, students who violate the Code of Conduct may be subject to discipline pursuant to Board Policy 7190, student behavior, and other applicable District 204 policies and rules regarding student behavior. Please note the following regarding application of the Code. Violations of the Code of Conduct will be treated cumulatively over the course of one school year, across all extracurricular activities, regardless of the category or type of prohibited conduct. If a student receives one of the Code of Conduct violations in a school year, the student's subsequent school year shall be treated as a probationary year. If the student has no Code of Conduct violations during the probationary year, the student's total violations and level of consequences per the Code will reset for a subsequent violation following the probationary year. However, if the student violates the Code of Conduct during the probationary year, the student's violations and consequences will not reset, and disciplinary consequences will continue to be assessed cumulatively for that school year. Depending on the nature of the Code of Conduct violation, as determined at the administrator's sole discretion, and in accordance with the applicable administrative procedures, a more significant consequence may be imposed in response to student misconduct instead of a progressive manner. Discipline may include up to removal from a particular extracurricular activity or all extracurricular activities for a set period of time or the remainder of the student's high school career. Prohibited conduct. Students participating in District 204 extracurricular activities shall not engage in the prohibited conduct listed below at all times, including after school, on days when school is not in session, and whether on or off school property. Students found to have engaged in prohibitive conduct are subject to disciplinary consequences of this Code of Conduct, notwithstanding any additional disciplinary consequences that may be issued pursuant to Board Policy 7190, the Student Handbook, or the Board Policy or District Rules. Alcohol, tobacco, and illegal controlled substances. Students shall not use, possess, buy, sell, trade or barter, or distribute any beverage containing alcohol, tobacco, or nicotine materials in any form, including electric cigarettes and vapes, cannabis in any forms, or any illegal controlled substance, including mood-altering and performance-enhancing drugs or chemicals, or any paraphernalia. Students shall not attend a party or other gatherings and or ride in a vehicle where alcohol, tobacco, cannabis, and or illegal controlled substances is present with or being consumed by minors. Additionally, for student athletes, IHSA prohibits participants in an athletic activity sponsored or sanctioned by the IHSA from ingesting or otherwise using any performance-enhancing substances on its banned substance list. Bullying and hazing activities are strictly prohibited at any time and in any location. Hazing is a humiliating or dangerous activity expected of a student to belong to a team or a group, regardless of their willingness to participate. Bullying includes cyberbullying and means any severe or pervasive physical or verbal act or conduct, including communications made in writing or electronically directed toward a student or students that has or can be reasonably predicted to place a student in a reasonable fear of harm, cause a substantially detrimental effect on a student's physical or mental health, substantially interfere with the student's academic performance, or substantially interfere with a student's ability to participate in or benefit from school services, activities, or privileges, and is strictly prohibited in accordance with Board Policy 7180, Prevention of and Response to Bullying, Intimidation, and Harassment. Conduct unbecoming of a District 204 representative. Students must abide by all school rules and display conduct becoming of a District 204 representative, including but not limited to those identified in Board Policy 7240, Conduct Code for Participants in Extracurricular Activities, and Board Policy 7190, Student Behavior. This includes after school, on days when school is not in session, whether on or off school property, and in communication posted on social media sites. Failure to abide by relevant board policies and student conduct expectations may be subject to student discipline. Examples include, but are not limited to, violating the district's policies or procedures on student behavior, unsportsmanlike conduct, violating the rules for the extracurricular activity, behaving in a manner that disrupts or adversely affects the group or school, being insubordinate or disrespectful toward the sponsors or coaches, falsifying any information contained on any form required for the activity or sport, engaging in conduct that violates local ordinances and or state or federal law. Also, hate speech or harassment behavior aimed at a person's sex, gender identification, race, religion, creed, age, national origin, ancestry, pregnancy, marital or parental status, sexual orientation, or disability that substantially interferes with the student's school performance or creates an intimidating, hostile, or offensive school environment is strictly prohibited and may subject a student to discipline. Hate speech or harassment may be verbal, nonverbal, or physical acts. Disciplinary consequences. Students found to have engaged in prohibited conduct, as described in this Code of Conduct, are subject to the following disciplinary consequences, notwithstanding any additional disciplinary consequences that may be issued pursuant to Board Policy 7190, the Student Handbook, or other board policy or district rules. First offense, suspension from all extracurricular activities for 10% of the competitive season or 2 events, whichever is less, with the student expected to participate in all practices and attend all contests during that time, unless the student also is suspended or expelled from the school. For alcohol, tobacco, and illegal controlled substance offenses, the student must attend and complete a school-approved chemical education program. For all other Code of Conduct violations, the student must meet with a district staff member to identify the student's options for a restorative activity for the student to attend and complete. Final determination of a restorative measure is at the discretion of the district. For the second offense is loss of all extracurricular opportunities for 1 calendar year from the date of the infraction. The student must participate in all practices and attend all contests during the time that they are serving the consequence unless the student is suspended or expelled from school. If the student agrees to a chemical assessment at the school-approved program for an alcohol, tobacco, or an illegal controlled substance violation at the district's expense, the student's disciplinary consequences will be reduced to a 6-week suspension. For all other Code of Conduct violations, if the student agrees to meet with a district staff member as determined by the principal or designee to identify the student's options for restorative activity, and the student attends and completes the restorative activity, the student's disciplinary consequences will be reduced to a 6-week suspension. Final determination of the restorative measure is at the discretion of the district. Please note that the following athletic and non-athletic activities with competitive performances or events: 6-week suspension of the competitive performance season from the date of the infraction. This could result in the consequence being served over 2 seasons, 2 semesters, or 2 school years. For non-athletic activities without competitive performance, 6-week suspension, including the practices and meetings at the sole discretion at the administration from the date of the infraction. This could result in consequence being served over 2 seasons, semesters, or school years. Third offense leads to loss of all extracurricular opportunities for 1 calendar year from the date of the infraction, including attendance in all practices and contests. Fourth offense, loss of all extracurricular opportunities for the remainder of the student's high school career. Reports of offenses committed outside of the school will be accepted from the following individuals: Lyons Township High School staff, law enforcement officials, individual students committing infractions, parents of students committing infractions, Speak Up Hotline, current students, and identified private citizens. Code of conduct investigations will be completed by the assistant principals, with decisions being made in consultation with the campus associate principal. The associate principal, athletic director, or activities director will notify the student and parent or guardian in writing of the outcome of the investigation and any disciplinary consequences. Within 2 school days upon receiving the decision regarding a violation of the code of conduct, a student and or parent or guardian of the student participating in an extracurricular activity may appeal the decision to the principal or designee. The principal or designee will review all relevant materials and evidence related to the code of conduct violation, and within 2 school days of receiving the notice of appeal, shall uphold, reject, or amend the associate principal, athletic director, or activity director's determination regarding the code of conduct violation and the disciplinary consequences. The principal or designee shall notify the student's parent or guardian, and the student's coach or activity sponsor in writing of the outcome of the appeal. In summary, your high school years go way too fast. Don't lose opportunities for participation because of a bad decision. Hopefully you can use the code, your parents, your teammates, and your coaches as excuses to stay away from any of these potential violations. The decision to stay tobacco and alcohol-free is not a one-time decision. Every night or every weekend, you need to continue to make that decision. Let us know what we can do to help you make the right decision.
Hi, I'm Peter Geddes, LT's Director of Student Activities, and I am blessed to work with our students to create some of their most enduring memories here at LT. Whether it's a weekly club meeting, a team fundraiser, or a highlight event like the All-School Assembly, I know that you will carry these unforgettable experiences for the rest of your life. Getting involved at LT is about more than just having a good time, though. You get to find your people, develop new and deeper relationships with LT staff members, and set yourself up for success in high school and beyond. Participation in student activities develops social and emotional skills, boosts GPA, reduces dropout rates, increases standardized test scores, promotes college and career success, and leads students to make better choices, the kinds of choices that Jack and Mr. Grunke referred to earlier. Research demonstrates again and again that students who are involved in extracurricular activities perform better academically and report a more fulfilling high school experience. National research has found that students who participate in 1 or more student activities see standardized test scores that are 4% better in reading and 5% better in math than those who don't. Students who take part in 1 or more activities throughout high school are 80% more likely to volunteer, 70% more likely to attend college, and 60% more likely to vote. A 2021 study by the Illinois State Board of Education found that participation in 2 or more activities is more predictive of post-secondary success than one's SAT score. In other words, just pick 2. And finally, closer to home, LT students who are involved in activities hold an average GPA 3/4 of a point higher than their non-participating peers. Simply put, students who don't participate in the arts, athletics, or activities miss out on valuable opportunities that set them up to thrive in high school and beyond. Co-Curricular Night is just your first step in the quest towards a fulfilling life. And that's why we invite you to set aside the evening of August 21st, starting at 7 p.m., where you will find most of our 140 plus athletics and activities represented. Take your time walking around the activity fair in the South Campus Fieldhouse. Talk to the representatives of the clubs and teams that interest, intrigue, and inspire you. On behalf of Jack, Dr. Tyrell, and Mr. Grunke, I thank you for your time, and we look forward to seeing you there.